Meadowbrook in southern New Jersey for our main event. A lot of talk heading into tonight's matchup.
All right, let's go.
Well, they're scheduled to go to full 12 here tonight. Round one now underway. Blocks that belt line well. If you made a checklist of advantages and disadvantages, obviously you'd want the advantage of hand speed. But you've trained many a guy who's been on the other side where his opponents had the better hand speed. What have you told him?
Well, I tell him make it a muddy track. You know, Secretariat must be the fastest horse in the world, but on a muddy track, things change a little bit. Step out of range. Don't allow...
That's a clean shot, able to get in with the right hand. Teddy, explain this to me. Hey, this fighter was just staggered and stunned. Now all of a sudden he's defending beautifully.
Yeah, because he's on instinct now. Before he was thinking, he was overthinking. That happens out in life in a lot of places. And now he's not. Now just naturally, instinctively, survival mode is there. He's doing all the things, Joe, that he was taught in the gym. Things he couldn't do before because he was worried about doing them. He had too many things clogging his head.
Just not there. Straight right hand off the mark. His opponent wanted the body. He wouldn't give it to him.
That's it.
See him trying to cut down that tree with a well-placed right hand. Really wanted that uppercut, but just couldn't get it. Last 10 seconds of this first round. Tommy Hearns is a smart fighter, and in doing so, the smart thing to do for him would be to utilize his jab. He's got a good one.
Yeah, and he's confident with it. See, it's one thing having a good one. You know how many people out there are good at certain things, but they don't have the confidence, they don't know it. He knows that he's good with it. That's the key.
Oh, you see him with the left of the head there? What's a weakness of the hitman?
Well, a lot of people might say his chin. You know, he doesn't have that great shock absorber. You know, that neck that can absorb a blow when it has to. It's a little thin, just like his body. So I'm not saying there's a little, you know, glass in that china. But sometimes
his infrastructure isn't good enough, just his physical makeup.
Yeah, you don't have that ability to absorb like some fighters.
Halfway through this round here. Effective work with that flush overhand right. Unable to score with the uppercut that time.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Last 10 seconds. And that's the end of round two. Tommy Hearns is putting forth an effort, but he's not being effective in that regard.
No, he's not. He's not landing when he needs to land. And it kind of reminds, he's a banger too. He can punch a little. It reminds me of an old saying that a trainer once told me. It doesn't mean anything to have a big punch. It's kind of like having a military weapon, a bomb. What good is it if you don't have a missile to get it to the target? Right now, he needs a missile to get that punch. He needs to set it up, and he's not doing that.
I like that step back right there. Just enough to be out of danger. Oh, that uppercut got him badly. Able to land another power shot early on here, Teddy. Does he have to worry about trying to keep up this pace?
No, I don't think so. If he keeps at this pace, he's not going to be around to worry.
The man's left working well that time. Unable to score with the hook. 90 seconds to go here in this round. Nice strike after catching one by the man. Southpaw right jab, then the left hand. Ten seconds to go in this third round. And that's the end of round 3.
That's it.
The man's off to a really good start tonight. This is the first time we look at Teddy's scorecard, and you can see that he has it a clean sweep through 3 rounds. Well off the mark by Tommy Hearns. And now targeting his opponent with the overhand right. Good way to protect the midsection.
That's what I want to see. Keep working the body. Come on.
The man's in a good rhythm defensively here. Teddy, what is that, a credit to his ability to anticipate?
You know, also it's the teaching. Let's give the trainers credit. Of course, let's give his background of the amateurs credit, but he learned how to get away from punches. This is technique that was taught to him.
90 seconds to go in round number 4.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Nothing there on the punch by Tommy Hearns.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
Teddy, let's talk about what this wiry, tall, and athletic frame of Tommy Hearns provides for him in the ring, because we've seen him use leverage to his advantage with his power punches.
Well, guys that look like a tall drink of water, and that's what he looks like to me. You know, a lot of people think they're not intimidating. They get more worried about a guy from Venison Beach that, you know, has all those muscles and everything. But those wiry guys, those are the guys that I have found that worry me, because they get leverage and they can really bang.
The round comes to an end, and now the tough part begins for the corner, because their fighter is dealing with some swelling.
Well, what they have to do is get that end swell. You know what that is. That's that piece of metal that you put in ice. You get it nice and cold. It retains the cold, and you have to put it on the swelling.
Big shot he just scored with. Tommy Hearns is leveled. A good straight punch put him there. Tommy Hearns beats the count, back up to his feet. Now what do you expect out of him?
Oh, we're going to find out. The most important thing is, what does he expect out of himself? Not what we expect out of him. Is he prepared? Has he been prepared to behave the right way when this moment came?
Protecting his head well with his guard. The man's defense has been just unbelievable tonight. I mean, Teddy, you take such appreciation seeing a guy putting forth his craft like this.
Yeah, you do, and that's why he's able to have such a long career. That's why he's able to be, you know, so consistently good, because he doesn't take a lot. He doesn't get worn out. He's fresh.
Teddy, he may go down just by stumbling the way he's bumbling around this ring.
Well, he's got to stop moving. Actually, you never want to fight on the ropes. This is one time he probably needs to be on the ropes just to steady him and then move his head a little bit. That might be his only shot.
Tommy Hearns is the kind of boxer that wants to do just that. Find the target, get the combination working, land both punches. Good shot to the head with that right hand. Oh, Teddy, he is hurt, but he's trying to throw back.
Yeah, that's the worst thing in the world. I know it's his natural inclination, throw back, but that's the worst thing, because now look at the punches he's throwing. He's going to leave himself wide open for something else.
Nowhere close, that punch by Tommy Hearns. Teddy, what would you recommend based on what we're seeing here tonight?
Well, 2 aspirin and then go. Oh, no, actually, I would say a little counterpunching would be just what the doctor ordered.
That's a better prescription for him. And oh, what a good, strong uppercut by the man. Reaching the halfway point of round number 6. A crushing 2-punch combo by Tommy Hearns. Hearns is swinging and missing like he's at bat right there. That punch was nowhere near his opponent. Right hand downstairs. The man's left landing well. The hitman's on the receiving end of a very good counterpunch. Oh boy, he is stunned badly. He is staggered and hurt and couldn't go down. Teddy, what do you got to be yelling for encouragement if you're the corner?
Well, if it was a baseball game, I'd be yelling for rain. Right now, I want this stop. But what he has to really get is a way to clinch.
The man's really doing a fine job here, Teddy, and I know everybody falls in love with the clean, effective punching, but you can make an argument that he's controlling this fight right now thanks to his head movement.
Yeah, you know, it makes me think about that legendary story about the old great Willie Pep, the Will-O-the-Wisp. There was a legend that he actually won a round without throwing a punch, just by making his opponent miss, just by ring generalship.
Tommy Hearns with a huge left hand. Got to try to do better than that. He missed with that hook. Halfway through the 7th round. Hearns has got to figure out a way to do something different here. I mean, I know he's committed to being a counterpuncher, but right now he's giving rounds away.
Yeah, he is, because he's waiting for things to happen that are not happening. You know, he's He's laying back. He's waiting for the guy to walk in. See, to be a good counterpuncher, an effective counterpuncher, the guy has to come close to you. But his opponent's staying at a distance. He's not giving him anything to counter.
The man's right hand scores well that time. Big shot comes crashing home.
Well, you go straight back, and you're going to pay a price. He paid a big one there.
He is staggered and stumbling. And round 7 comes to an end.
Fucking beautiful. That was fucking amazing. I want another round like that.
Start of round number 8. The man's up on Teddy's scorecard. He's just been the more effective guy.
Yeah, he has, Joe. And for those young people out there watching that want to be fighters or whatever you do, you know, this is a little bit of Exhibit A proof that you can be aggressive in a state of mind. You know, aggression doesn't always have to be physical, where you're coming forward, you know, you're seek and destroy missile. It could be just controlling a guy in other ways, stepping back, making him do what you want to do. And he's making him do what he wants him to do.
Hearns is just punching air that time. His opponent was able to get out of the way. The man's showing that he has an understanding about balance, about angles, about footwork. What does his opponent need to understand to deal with it?
Well, he has to figure out a way to take the air out of those tires. Give him a couple flats. That's what he's got to do. And there's no better way to give a guy a flat than to go to that body.
Comes right back with some offense of his own. Good step back, counter punch there.
Beautiful.
Good looking right hand after he got hit. Good flush shot upstairs. The hitman's making for a tough target there. He gets away from that punch. Last 10 seconds of the 8th round. Nice work with the overhand right. And there's the bell. Can you believe that? He was saved by the bell. Teddy, you've been in a spot like this before as a trainer.
Right now, you know what? What do you spend time on? You want to spend time on telling him why he got in that spot, why he got hit. But first, you got to make sure he revives. You got to get him clear-minded. You got to get his senses back first.
Digging in with a left to the gut. The man's making me real curious here, Teddy. I wonder, should he be sticking with this style after being rocked in this fight?
It's still early enough. I would say yes. You know, you don't want to panic. You don't want to just throw everything overboard. You want to stay with what brought you here. Hey, he's been taught this not for hours, not for days, not for weeks. You know, months and years he's been taught this. You don't throw it out. You stay with it.
Hearns has got to find an answer for this because his accuracy has been well off the mark. I like the fact he's willing to throw, but he needs to land more.
Yeah, he needs to calm down and think more.
Nice work.
90 seconds into the 9th round. Oh, what a whip by Tommy Hearns.
1, 2. 1, 2.
There's no need to be on the inside.
Hearns is proving to be elusive.
Back to the body.
Seconds to go in this round. Unable to steady himself right now after being stunned. And that does it for this round. In between rounds here, the man's eye is completely swollen shut. What would you be telling him?
Oh, this is going to sound a little tiny harsh, but guess what? This is a tough business. I tell him, you have two eyes, right? Use the good one.
You got this one.
And he's really doing a nice job of hitting the mark with the jab.
And that's exactly what he needs. And it's not hard to hit the mark when the mark's coming at you. The right choice of a punch.
The man's blocking ability is doing well for him there. Good right hand by Tommy Hearns. Halfway through round 10. You can see he's trying to score up top, but off the mark there. Hearns is killing me watching him here. I mean, he doesn't need a 20-by-20 ring. They could fight this thing in like a phone booth here.
No, he looks like one of those cars you see on the side of the road where they removed all the tires, all the wheels. He's not going anywhere.
Comes right back at him with a left hand. And now you can see him utilizing the jab.
You know, a lot of times you see a guy on the outside bouncing around, staying away. You understand the use of a jab. But when you're coming forward, you have to come forward with a cover. And that jab, that's the cover.
Oh, you're doing great.
Tommy Hearns' defense did a good job there, able to avoid that punch. Coming to the end of round number 10, 10 seconds to go.
Listen, I don't want to see you against the rope.
Well, you would know better than I would, but you put in all that road work, all that great conditioning work, and I suppose this is where it pays off. Here we are, round number 11. He's well up on your scorecard. It's not even breathing hard.
No, and he's not complaining now like he was. He was fooling around with us before the fight when we were interviewing him. He was telling us that, you know, when he had to run those hills, his trainer was making him run with the knapsack of sand, you know, 20, 30 pounds of sand in that knapsack. He's not complaining right now. He's seeing the benefits of that.
He's in bad shape. He's on wobbly legs. Teddy, he's got to tie up.
If he can. See, that's up to his opponent, Joe. It's not automatic that he's going to get what he wants to tie up. If his opponent steps back a little bit, he can keep this offense going and end his night.
A little head hunting with the right. Hearns is behind on the cards. He's just got to be. Going to take a knockout to win this?
Yeah, I think so, and it's going to take a certain kind of attitude or strategy, a change in strategy. You go into the fights, you don't look for a knockout. You're looking to use your jab, you're looking to set up punches, you're looking to go rounds. Right now, he's got to find a way to get a knockout. Look for one punch. One big punch right now.
Hearns is stunned. Hearns got tagged right there, and he's looking to tie up.
And I don't know that he knows how to tie up because this has been an offensive fighter. This has been a gunslinger. A guy that has been used to taking his gun out of the holster, not putting it back in the holster.
Stay away from the inside.
Pulls the trigger right away with the left hand after getting tagged himself. And now he scores well with the straight right. Boy, he is shaky right there. He is on shaky ground in the ring right now. Final 10 seconds. And that's the end of round 11. Teddy, both men are bloodied and battered at this point.
Well, it's even for both guys. Now it truly is about what we talk about all the time, the will of a man. It's no longer just about the skill. It's about who has the greater will.
He takes a shot and then commits to giving one right back. Teddy, when you've been in the corner in your career and you have a charge who is not making a lot of contact, what do you tell him?
The first thing I tell him, Joe, is shorten up your punches a little bit. The other thing I tell him is he's making you miss, so you know what? Feint him a little bit. Get a false move out of him. Get a premature move. And when he moves, then time him. Now you're going to catch him.
Halfway through this 12th and final round. Good right hand. The hitman's going to think about the next time he throws a punch because he just got hit by a good solid counter. All right, here we go. Last 60 seconds of the fight. Little head knocking with that right hand.
Beat him to the punch.
Ten seconds to go in this, the final round. Well, you should have your judge's license taken away if you don't see this one the obvious way, Teddy.
If one of these judges dare go another direction with this, I want their picture up on a post office board.
Most wanted poster.
Yes, sir.
Now, right now, what we want is to hear those obvious scorecards, so let's send it up to the ring. Listen, he was the better fighter. He was the busier fighter. He's the fighter that absolutely deserves to have that unanimous decision go the way it did.
And you never like to say this, I say it in jest, but this is one where you could have made up the scorecards.